story. And here we go. So question one.
Alright.
How does the culture differ from yours? What was the most surprising, intriguing, difficult to understand? After reading the book, did you gain a new perspective, or did the book affirm your prior views?
I think I gained mostly a new perspective because there was a lot of demonstrations of how loyal he was to whatever he was in, like when he didn't want to leave the Cardinals just to go and make some more money with another team. I kind of gained a new perspective of you should probably stay with where you're at. You shouldn't just leave for things that are simple as just more money.
Well, I said the most surprising thing to me was how in the beginning of the story, Mr. Krakauer tells of a series of battles and rulers that were all rival factions in Afghanistan, and part of that was all part of how it led America into the war, and it really one of the most surprising things to me was the revenge culture that kind of exists there, and how people couldn't really seem to get behind one leader or government or faction. And so with the revenge thing, it's like if one family does a wrong thing to another, the family of the victim is supposed to do something back. And you can really see how that kind of translates to how a lot of them hate America, because they feel like we've done something wrong, so they're going to fight back. So that kind of was a new thing for me. And the other thing is the culture, how there was a lot of factions that were all kind of fighting for power, and the people couldn't seem to really get behind just one for a government.
So they just if someone did something wrong, they just keep fighting back and forth.
Yeah, these fights would last for centuries.
Okay, because see, that's what happens in my house all the time too. So, yeah, Ben does something, Maggie does something else.
Alright, so question two. What are the questions or issue raised from the book? Alright, so the issue raised, at least for me, is it ever right to lie about somebody's death? Well, for me, I guess it depends. If the family of Pat was more comfortable knowing that Pat died a hero,
yeah,
which is what they were told, I guess it's okay, because it won't really change much. Pat's not going to be back, unless they'll feel better knowing that he died.
That he died for a reason, yeah.
But the truth came out later anyway. But the family probably would have known anyway.
I think it was probably a good lie at the time, because if you would have told them that he just died, friendly fire shooting right away, that probably would have been a big shock. But I think after they finally started to get over it, I think that was a good time for them to figure it out.
Yeah.
So
otherwise, using him as a poster boy to boost recruitment or whatever.
Yeah,
probably wrong.
Yeah,
it's probably not what Pat would want.
Yeah.
Alright,
I got one. Let's see. I guess you could explain Pat's reasoning for not leaving the Army early to go back to the NFL, based on what you know about his personality. So I said because before he had shown that he didn't want to leave for another team just for more money, and he always wanted to stick with what he was doing just because he felt it was the right thing to do. So I think he felt that he didn't want to be discharged from the Army to go back to play in the NFL when he had told them that he was going to be there for the next 3 years to finish off his career.
Yeah.
So I think he was just kind of determined and loyal to what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think part of it was probably because he didn't want to leave his fellow soldiers behind. He seems pretty loyal to whoever he's doing with. And you see that a lot during especially his childhood, when he thought at that restaurant that they were at where he beat up the kid, even though that was probably the wrong thing to do, he thought something was happening to his friends, and you could see that, he's loyal to his friends, and he's not going to leave them behind and just watch this fight go down.
Yeah, and then he did that a lot later in Afghanistan too. There's a lot of people who will talk throughout the book, just people who'll go out there will bring in, and all of them just said that Pat was the easiest to get along with, and he understood everything that people were saying. So I think he really didn't want to just leave those people behind that were going to, they were doing what they said they were going to do and staying with the military just to go back and play in the NFL.
Alright, so question 3. Alright, do the issues affect my life, and how so? I said, the issue that they covered up his death makes you kind of wonder what else they could have possibly covered up. Not that I'm like, a conspiracy guy, but it does make you wonder what else could have happened over there that I don't know about. So it really could affect me in the future or now even. So that was my thought.
I guess it's still affecting us now because we're still like just getting people out of there. So even like I think like more the long term impact we're gonna have because it's gonna be kind of we're not gonna have good relations with that part of the world either. So like any like resources we're gonna need from there or like just like all the money and stuff that went into it up to now is like ridiculous. I think we're kind of paying for that now.
Alright, so are the issues controversial and how so? Who is on what side of the story and on what side do I fall? Well, I said yeah, the issues are controversial. Like we said before, I mean it was kind of a big deal back when this first came out. And generally people really don't take it well when they realize that they've been lied to, so that's clearly how it's controversial.
Yeah.
And I'm on the side of let people know what really happened.
Yeah, because I guess in the end it's probably better for them to at least know what happened. Because they might not feel the best about it, but eventually they'll get over it and
Right.
decide that it's better that they know what actually happened.
Right. That's probably what happened too. I feel at least. I
Yeah.
don't know if his personality.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll go with the talking point here. I guess what ideas of like the military and how they covered up everything and like basically just how they run in general, like what ideas that you had about them before differ from what you learned in the book.
Well, in the first couple hundred pages, it talks about how we gave a lot of aid to the people over there during like the Afghan-Soviet war, and it just kind of really surprised me. Because what I don't know, I didn't really think that they'd give money to other countries to fight wars and that kind of thing. It's just that was that was different for me at least. I never thought that they'd do something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they know better than me, so.
Yeah, and I guess the downside of them trying to cover up all the deaths and stuff they had over there is that like we never really understand what they're actually doing over there. I think they would have been better off at least explaining to us what they all do, because I guess for most people, the only understanding they have of how the military works is from like playing Call of Duty or something.
Right, or from what they hear.
Yeah, or from what they hear like in the news, and that's usually something bad. So it never seems like we're doing anything good over there. It's always something going wrong.
Right.
So I guess that's what it's like for me.
Question 5. Did I learn anything new reading this book? And did it broaden my perspective about a difficult personal or societal issue? I said yeah, I did learn a lot. Mostly about like the culture and the people of Afghanistan. And really, I didn't really know before the book like what brought about the war beyond 9/11. But I didn't really think that there was a lot of battles and stuff, and going back to the CIA aid that they gave to Afghan. I never knew about that. I didn't know that it played a part in bringing us to the war that we have.
Yeah.
So that was my new thing.
I guess my new thing is I never, like, my parents used to always talk about Pat. Like, I never knew who he really was. They told me he played football and then he went to the military. I never really understood who he was. So I think from this book, it kind of helped me understand, like, his personality, his reasoning, because I always wondered why he would leave the NFL to go fight in the military when he probably going to die anyway. But I guess it was because he was really into his country, and after, like,